people not accepting their skin tones is still something like which I am a little baffled about. I mean, it's you don't love yourself. How can you not love yourself? You have to be consistent whether you get the response or the reward. Don't doubt yourself.
Welcome to Unbox, a podcast about understanding, unraveling, and really figuring out what makes us as human beings tick, what's the behavior that keeps us going. And we try to do it through conversations with people who've made some unconventional choices, who've taken some bold decisions, and they're committed to making a difference in this world with the work that they do. Today I have with me Chandni Singh. She's a celebrated makeup artist. She has been the judge of India's only makeup reality show. She has her own brand and is a successful entrepreneur. But more than that, she is a beautiful soul and a beautiful human being. And I hope that you enjoy our conversation together. Welcome, Chandni.
Thank you, Tunvey. So good to be here.
The first thing that I really want to ask you, and I started by saying beautiful soul, you work in an industry where there's a lot of pretension. There are good people, but there are a lot of people who are pretending, and there is a facade. Maybe it's because of peer pressure. Maybe it's because, they feel they need to conform to a certain idea of what the makeup industry entails. How do you stay genuine in the middle of all this chaos?
So what's really important to me is just being true to myself. And if I feel that if I'm trying to be something or look a certain way, I think I'm going to lose it. And I definitely don't want to lose that essence ever, because who I am is more important for me. Like I don't think I can ever do it. Also, how long can you really
keep up the facade?
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be very exhausting also, I feel.
In fact, I think that's why there are so many mental health challenges, right? Because there is the world or the life that you're pretending to live and your actual reality. And when the gap is just too much, at some point your brain is, talking to you internally, and it's creating a lot of stress.
Yeah. It will give up on you some or the other day, I feel.
Yeah. I think living an authentic life is more important than anything else, and it has challenges, because when you say what you mean, it's not always taken in the right spirit.
Yeah, I agree to that also. However, I think if that person maybe does not even listen to you, they might think of you at some point that she did mention that.
ठीक बोला था उसने
कभी. Like initially, तन्वी जब लोग मेकअप कराने आते थे, सो आई स्टार्टेड एट अ टाइम जब मेकअप बहुत लाउड होता था.
करेक्ट.
जब सब कुछ बिल्कुल वाइट होता था, पुता हुआ होता था. एंड मुझे अच्छा लगता था न्यूड मेकअप. एंड कई बारी मैं जब काम करती थी, मुझे बोलता था कि आपका मेकअप दिख नहीं रहा, थोड़ा सा और
इट शुड शो.
सो देन देर ऑल्सो केम अ फेज कि उसकी वजह से मैंने ब्राइड लेनी बंद कर दी थी, क्योंकि मेरे को फ्रस्ट्रेशन होती थी उनका मेकअप करके, क्योंकि कहते थे और लगाओ, वाइट कर दो, रेड आई शैडो. देन आई ओनली स्टार्टेड टेकिंग वर्क थ्रू रेफरेंसेस, where people connected with me that you did my makeup there and
somebody liked it,
and my sister's getting married or something like that.
So you basically stuck to your energy and your space, and you found your tribe eventually. You're so successful, Chandni, that the journey, right now I can't even relate to the fact that, somebody would tell you do this, don't do this, or, struggling to get work. But you're self-taught, right? And you're very proud of the fact, and it gives me a lot of courage when people like you come out there and say that I'm self-taught, because today everybody wants a certificate, a certification, and I feel that while certifications and learning is important, but even for me, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, there is always this tiny voice of self-doubt saying, should I do one more course? Should I do one more certification? Will that make me feel fully confident? How did you overcome this self-doubt?
So the amount of work that I would get would put my self-doubt at ease. So it's not that I did not want to train. Unfortunately, उस वक्त पता क्या था तन्वी, there were not too many academies in Delhi. And अगर वो थी, they were not what I was looking for. And तब पैसे नहीं थे. Right? और माँ बाप को समझ नहीं आता था ये मेकअप क्या करे. ये मेकअप के लिए पैसे थोड़ी ना देंगे. So बहुत it was a like a complicated circle where you don't know where to go. So but because of my modeling career, which was not very long, but I did work with some really good artists and some very bad artists also. And I used to really look forward to working with those good artists, and I would be like, okay, I want to be a makeup artist. And that's how, I mean, जब मैंने makeup artistry start भी करी, like I used to think कि मैं जुलाई में कोर्स के लिए जाऊंगी. And I used to get like booked for like 20 days in a month.
So then you couldn't go for
and
the
I
course.
couldn't go. And I'd be like, I'd be an idiot to say no to so much of work that's coming my way. So bus, I mean, क्योंकि I'm sure, I mean, Tanvi, simple thing, right? I mean, if you're not good, you won't get booked, right?
Yeah, so essentially you worked on your craft without having someone tell you to work, saying practice, practice, practice. It kind of came from within and you mastered your craft and the work started coming.
हाँ, and उस वक्त ना Google पे ज़्यादा information थी.
Yeah, that's true. There was no internet, or at least there was very limited internet.
हाँ जी, and जो information भी थी, at least Indian skin से related, the information that I wanted was not there. So, I mean, I did struggle. I used to invest in products, and some of them were really good and some were really bad that never worked. You know how it is. But yeah, I mean, I used to like apply something and I would be like,
is it working? Is it not working?
Nahin, it's just worse. Okay, let me try this.
So it was a lot of hit and trial.
It was. And I mean, so many people don't even know this, but I initially, like, of course, I worked with Vogue and Marie Claire and Cosmopolitan, but usse pehle, for my practice, I've even worked with like Women's Era, Grey Shobha, and I used to purely do all that work because I wanted to work on faces and
different kinds of faces.
Different kind of faces of, and I'm so glad I did that.
No, because your repertoire of work is expansive, from bridal is just one very small part of it, but there's your academy, you teach students, and you do a lot of work for high-end brands, and there's a whole fashion space that you're known for. And at some point when you feel that oh, I've done it all, is that the thought you have, or you're still a learner?
I still learn. You'll be so surprised. Like every makeup, I'll be like, okay, I haven't tried this product. Let me try this. And then you feel, oh, this works even better than that one that I use.
So you're constantly curious and learning.
So actually, I'll be very honest. I'm very curious. Any new thing, particularly when it's skin related, I definitely go invest in it. And a lot of times it's a complete waste of money. But now once a product kind of comes into my eyes, I kind of start researching it out, and it takes me at least a month. Like, I'll watch YouTube videos, I'll go through blogs of makeup enthusiasts also, not only makeup artists. Because I also want to see the perspective from a person who's not a makeup artist. I'll also see YouTube videos of the product where it has maybe a few million views, and I'll also see makeup videos of people who just have maybe 300 views, because I want to get the perspective, and then I order my product.
Wow, so there's that much of research and effort that goes into deciding what you want to do.
Now I'm more or less buying 95% good product. Abhi bhi thoda sa gadbad ho jati hai. But that's okay, that's a part of the learning.
So you teach a lot of young women. I don't know how many men you get in your courses.
We do a few.
So when you teach your students, there are a few who go out there to make a huge mark, and then there are some, they've attended the same class, the same teacher, the same mentorship, the same time spent on the course, and one kid makes it, and there are many others who don't. In your opinion, is it just a skill thing, or is it something else?
It's just not the skill. It's also the will. कि मुझे कुछ करना है, लगे रहते हैं थोड़ा सा. being aggressive obviously helps, Tanvi, in any profession. Let's get real, India में इतना competition है because of the population also being big, but yeah, I mean, you have to be a little bit more aggressive, work a lot more harder,
So if you had to give 3 traits of students who end up creating some form of success for themselves, what would those 3 things be?
Curious.
So keep trying.
Keep asking
Don't
questions. Give up. And punctual.
Just discipline, you're saying.
Discipline, basically. General discipline. I mean, the students who I see who are always on time, who take, like say if it's portfolio day and I give them a brief, there are only maybe 3 students who take the brief till the T, and the rest don't really.
So attention to detail and just that interest in doing, that I want to do a good job, that desire, and of course, like you said, the sort of punctuality or the discipline of
discipline
working.
really, really helps them become better artists. Also the discipline, because when you're doing makeup, you need a certain kind of focus, also aesthetic. When you're doing it, if you take the wing out from 60 degree or 75 degree, it can
make a difference.
It can make a difference to the eye. So they just have that attention to detail. It really works.
So I'm going to ask a tough question. Are there some people who can never become makeup artists, or is it a skill that can be mastered?
No, there are a few people who cannot become a makeup artist. Yeah, there are.
Because there is an inherent, like you said, aesthetics may be something that is hard to
Aesthetics
learn.
is one thing, because that's one thing I cannot teach them. That is something that you are brought up with. And so they might become an artist, but they might not become an accomplished or a
very
successful artist.
But for the most part, if you're a curious person, you're disciplined and you're willing to work hard, it's a skill that you can learn and eventually master.
Yes, because see, it's not that I knew how to apply my eyeliner the moment I started doing makeup.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, एक आंख पे लगा दो और दूसरे पे pray करोगे वो ठीक लग जाए.
That's true. That is so true. So tell me one thing, in all your years of meeting people, interacting with people, and I think you probably meet more people than most, and you meet them at a very intimate level, because when you're doing somebody's makeup, they're on the phone, they're talking, there's friends and family around. Even in a fashion shoot, the girls are probably speaking to a friend or a boyfriend or a mum. You see people at a very intimate space. What's the one thing that you've noticed that you like, and maybe something that you feel needs to change? Things that you don't like irritate you, and saying, this is, I'm doing makeup on you, but fundamentally I'm not gelling with you right now.
So one thing that I am still people not accepting their skin tones is still something which I am a little baffled about. I mean, it's you don't love yourself. How can you not love yourself? Right?
That's
you
true.
could be any color on that shade card. How does that matter? I mean, so I really feel that self-love is really missing, and there's a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I definitely...
No, and I think self-love is such a vast topic. We can speak about it for the next couple of days and we won't even scratch the surface.
Correct.
But you've raised a really, really important point. I think accepting yourself with all of your dents and bruises, internal and external, is such an important part of your journey to success. Because till you don't love yourself, people around you, at least your experience with them will not be one of love.
Correct.
Because we only reflect what we feel. And so if you're not feeling, you don't respect yourself, invariably you will find experiences around you where people saying, this one's also disrespecting me, this one's also disrespecting me. Maybe they are, but in some cases they may not be, but that's your experience of the whole thing. I think self-love is such a beautiful point that you raised, because it really starts there.
It does. And what I really love is when I have a woman sitting super confident. She knows the color of the eyeshadow she wants. She knows how long her winged eyeliner should be. She knows what nude shade of lipstick she wants. I love it. I love it when that woman has such clarity and she's so precise. It just makes my job easier also.
That's true. No, I think both the points that you've raised, self-love and confidence, I think extend beyond makeup. I think these are traits to build for life,
True,
not just in the industry.
Absolutely, yes. I do agree to that.
So what's the advice, Chandni today would give to her younger self, let's say 25, 24?
So the first advice, don't doubt yourself.
I don't know.
Obviously, even I used to have those phases, where I would wonder, should I? Should I? Even launching my academy, I almost thought about it for 3 years until I launched it, I should have done it earlier,
So you have this brand that you've launched, Nari Studios, and it says made with love. It's such a beautiful tagline. But you've had an entrepreneurial journey before Nari as well. And what are the lessons that you learned from being an entrepreneur? Because you're an artist. That's one part of who you are. You're a mum and a wife and a daughter and all of that. But the entrepreneurial journey that you've had, what are some of the lessons that you've learned that you're now implementing into this beautiful brand that you launched?
So one thing that I learned about myself is that I can never do a desk job. Because I had to do a lot of paperwork.
For the company.
And initially, when I started working on it, I took help from these two lovely women who helped me set up my business. And I had to fill up extensive Excel sheets. And I can't even tell you how frustrated I used to be. Every half an hour, I'd be like, okay, I need a break. I can't do this.
But you did it.
I did it. Yes, I did it because there was nobody else to do it. So, yeah, I realized how I cannot sit in front of a computer. It was really bad.
No, but they say that what differentiates successful people from not very successful ones is that successful people are willing to do the stuff they don't like.
So I did everything. I'll be very honest. So my husband obviously helps me out in this, but I brought him in after I had accomplished about 60% of the work.
Oh, okay.
And every time, I take great pride in it also, because to be very honest, I never thought I'll be able to do it. Also, dealing, looking for vendors with good aesthetics is one thing that took up most of my time. And I also realized how difficult it was to deal with Indian male vendors, particularly
who don't take women seriously.
Because I would keep telling them ki I have called you up 5 times already for this, you're not giving it to me, is there a problem? I'm ready to pay you, should I give you an advance? So that you take it seriously. Because obviously even to freeze something you need the samples, right?
Yeah, correct.
So obviously I would be like, I'm ready to give you an advance. Right, tell me your MOQ. I would even throw questions to them, tell me your MOQ. Let's freeze things. I'll give you an advance. And I'd be pretty frustrated because
they would think that this is just one random inquiry and not a serious one.
Yeah.
Oh. But I think, the male psyche is a topic for a whole other podcast. We'll get to
also, that because my brand was all colors, and you know how much I wear black.
Yeah.
I love black, Right.
Yeah, I know. In fact, I told her, I said, please don't wear black today because you have a black backdrop.
So I wanted to add colors to my brand, you know, and even nailing कि ये अभी भी मेरे को ना पिंक लग रहा है, इसमें थोड़ा और पीच थोड़ा और पीच, ये थोड़ा सा और एक्वा हो सकता है, ये अभी भी ग्रीन आ रहा है, you know. So I mean, yeah, I mean the detailing can actually drive you nuts.
But it's also what makes the brand what it is.
Yes, I can't even tell you. मेरे को प्रोडक्ट की इतनी खुशी नहीं है जितनी उसकी पैकेजिंग, क्योंकि मैंने पैकेजिंग के लिए इतना दिमाग खराब किया. Be consistent. The problem is that they are not consistent. They make a little effort and then they don't get rewards, so they kind of take a back seat. You have to be consistent whether you get the response or the reward.
So even if you're not getting work, you just have to keep at it. Keep posting, keep trying, keep practicing.
Yes.
Even if it's on yourself, for yourself, or on friends.
Absolutely, yes.
Beautiful. If you weren't a makeup artist, what would you be doing? It's a tough one, huh?
It's a very tough one. It's a very tough one. I would have been connected to films in some way. I don't know what way. Like I could perhaps
have been an anchor.
I could have been an anchor. I could have been maybe a stylist, but something yeah, related to films.
So Chandni, in your long illustrious career, you've done many things. And what's the biggest challenge that you faced, and what did you do to overcome it? Was it working with people, working with partners, or just the skill part of makeup?
So skill was never the issue. Like, I used to pretty much nail everything when I used to get after it, particularly. Yes, I did realize that I was somebody who could not work in partnerships. That's one thing I did realize. And I worked upon it, and I'm doing it all by myself now.
Superb. And I wish you all the very best for Nari Studios. But, my interaction with you over the years, we, worked together and we've been friends. And I'm telling you, one of the nicest things when I talk to you is that you're all heart. And it is such a pleasure to have you with us here today. Thank you so much, Chandni.
Thank you, Tunvey. It was a pleasure being here.
Pleasure was all mine. That's it from us at Unbox. We'll see you again on another episode.